A few minutes later.
Besides Gertie, who here do you think has the most sex?
I've always had sex like 4 times a night.
You had sex 28 times a week
Yeah, I swear.
for
But with
23 years?
Yeah. 4 times a night, every night. I never had a day off.
Oh, okay.
I have real jobs, okay? Not like you. Putting people to sleep.
It's almost hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb.
Judged you. I never judged you. Why would you not like us? You have a child out of wedlock. I didn't judge you.
Absolutely not see that this was anything, like, you don't see why she would be annoyed by that?
You don't see, Andy, how I would be annoyed how she judged me the whole time?
Girl, I'm about to get the fuck up out of here.
It's an asshole thing to say.
Andy's calling you an asshole. Okay. Like, owning you're an asshole.
Just always being invited by like third parties and club promoters. Yep. But as a model in Miami Beach, like I've heard he's been a cheater for a long time.
Girl, what's going on?
I'm like, I know models that he cheat with.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we're gonna be looking at the part 2 from the Real Housewives of Miami reunion, and it was a good reunion. I feel like Larsa, I don't want to call her dumb, but I just want to say sometimes she say things and maybe there's like a lack of intelligence. I feel like Julia could have came harder, but I get the reason why. Alexia and Marisol, they just have this bone against Nicole, and I don't get the hung up for it. And Kiki, I love everything about Kiki, but we gotta talk about what she said to Lisa at the end, because I have questions. But y'all, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, want it, securing the bag.
With, you know, Alexia and Lisa continue where they left off, and you know, Lisa was telling her, you know, maybe you just took it the wrong way with, you know, you saying you're a star, and then Alexia's like, okay, well, you probably should think yourself a star too, and maybe that's why Lenny did all the things he did on you. And she's just like, girl, you took it out of context. Like, what are you talking about? And then everybody's like, look, that's Alexia that we know. That's her. So it was out of context. I feel like Alexia was just on defense mode, and she's just going off on everybody for no reason, because she wants to say she's a star. Girl, if you're a star, cool. You ain't got to say it 24/7. If you're a star, you know that's what it is, period. Like, you don't hear nobody that's real saying they're real 24/7. Right? Sounds like overcompensating, but whatever. Like I said, I find it weird that Andy, you know, gave Alexia the opportunity to apologize to Gertie and Julia, because he was like, is there anything else you want to say, Alexia? And she's like, yeah, you know, I want to apologize to you, Julia, because that was not my intent. I did not mean to disrespect you and, you know, your community. Then she went to Gertie, said, I apologize to you, this and the third. But I'm still thinking, like, at the end of the day, you do owe an apology to Adriana and the guy that she was with, because you put out a rumor and it was something that you actually looked for, and you improperly saw the information. You didn't scroll all the way down, as she said, and then you basically made it seem like this girl was sleeping with a married man and he was cheating on his wife, or he was, like, in theory, if that makes sense. So it's break, it's the intermission. All the girls get up to go to the dressing room, and you know, Marisol and Alexia, they're talking about how all the girls are attacking me, and you know, I'm just trying to just be the bigger person, and they're not gonna make me out to be the bad guy. I'm not the mean girl. That's not who I am. This, that, and the third, right? We see Gertie and Nicole. They're already talking about, oh, so she can give an apology. The only reason she gave an apology is because of the viewers are watching, and she doesn't want to get canceled for what she said. She insulted a whole nation of people. So for her just to say it, she just said it just to save face. And then the person she's supposed to give an apology to is Adriana. I agree. Alexia then goes to Julia's room, right? And she basically reiterates her apology to her. She's like, I'm so happy that you're so receptive to my apology, this, that, and the third. And I feel the reason that, you know, Julia didn't go as hard as she could have, like she did in the season, is because she has other things, bigger things on her mind, which is Martina's diagnosis and Martina's going through her journey battling cancer. 2 types of cancer. So I don't think that Julia's mind is like, oh my God, I'm about to go in. She was just trying to mend things, which is what she did in the room. She's telling her like, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think Adriana meant what she meant about, you know, bringing up Frankie. And Alexia's like, no, we're not talking about that. We're not, that's my no-go zone. We're not talking about that. We then see like the flashback and we see that Alexia is basically talking to Julia about Adriana and how she's basically a bad person, this, that, and the third. I think it's after the whole comment about Frankie. And then, you know, she had like a little pushback from Julia, and Julia's basically telling her like, okay, I don't think she meant it that way, and this, that, and the third, you know, she was wrong. But then on the beach in the flashback, Alexia is just like, I don't want to talk to you no more. No, because you don't get it, and I don't have time for you. You're not a feminist. You're not.
You know what? I don't want to talk to you. That's your show over there because you're not a feminist. Stop turning this around into an LGBTQ community because I know that.
Girl. This girl is delusional.
Where did that even come from? Like, it was so out of left field, the stuff that she says. And for me, I feel like that's when she truth speaks. And it's just so flabbergasted. It's crazy the way she talks sometimes. Alexia explains in the dressing room to Julia that, you know, she was hurt because Adriana was saying stuff about her husband. And she basically last year, she brought up, like, you know, she was like, Alexia, I heard that your husband basically died while having sex with another man in a hotel room. So, you know, that's basically why she was upset. And then I don't know why Adriana would even brought that up. Like, to be honest, it was very salacious and it was very disrespectful to even bring that up to her. Okay, yes, her husband, that's the way he died. And Adriana, basically one of her defending points when they got into it, because, you know, Adriana heard her name, so she just basically like, you know, you're just a horrible person, blah, blah, blah. Alexia, Adriana going back and forth. One of Adriana's points was, you outed your husband. I was like, okay, so you feel some type of way because she outed her husband on national television, which she did. But one, that's her husband. 2, you said that he died from having sex with another man in the hotel room. So which one's worse? The way he died or the way he lived his life? You tell me in the comments. Alexia, you know, Martina has a lot of stuff going on today, and that's probably why I want everybody to get along, have a quick resolution. I don't have time for all this drama in my life. No more pain. Marriage your lives. Alexia says, you know, I don't appreciate people making me look like a certain way, making me look like I am like the mean girl. I'm not that type of girl. And she was like, this is the type of stuff that y'all do. Y'all do this stuff to me all the time. And I'm just like, okay, so you just thank Julia for being so receptive and all these nice things to Julia, but then you lump her into everybody else attacking you. And I'm just like, how do we get from point A to point B? Because, and that's what I say with Alexis, she always want to be, she always want to play the victim every time. And like I said, Alexis like, okay, y'all made me feel like I was the mean girl. It's like, but you made yourself seem like the mean girl. You got into it with more than one person. So for me, I'm just like, girl, that's just who you are. Like, you just attacked Lisa. You got into it with Gertie, got into it with Nicole, got into it with Julia. So for me, got into it with Adriana. That's 5 people that you have went at it with, and you make it seem like it's them, it's not you. They're attacking you, I'm just reacting. No, that's not how it is. Like, she said some of these ridiculous comments that are just salacious and disrespectful, and I just can't rock with it. And she been doing it the whole entire season. Okay? And that's why I feel like she mad at this reunion, because she's sitting in 3rd chair, last chair. Okay? So, you know, Alexia start crying, and she's like I said, she blames everybody. And she's like, you know, I just don't want to be that person. You know, they start doing that. And Adriana yells like, girl, hush with them crocodile tears. She said, no, it's not crocodile tears. It's not crocodile tears because you're just a devil. Because you don't know something from sincere to being nice to being this to being that. Like they start doing all that, going back and forth. And you know, Alexia, she leaves the room. She's like, "You're the devil." This and the third. And she hugs, kiss Julia, leaves the room. But Adriana says something else, and she come back in the room. Did y'all peep the way that it's like the PA lady was in like the frame right here? And when Alexia came back into the room, the lady was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa."
This is what you do for a show. This is your show.
I don't know what that had me over here hollering. But you know, the girls come back from break, and you could just tell people just mad, fuming. So Kiki finally joins us, and you know, Marisol makes her take a drink out of her cup, germs. But I challenge Marisol, you know, next season, come back with something other than being the drunk person or being intoxicated or anything with alcohol. What do you have other than that? Because at the end of the day, like, it's boring, it's tacky, and being drunk or alcoholic is not a personality type. So what else could she do? Right? Okay. So, you know, we get into a lot of Kiki's moments, and Kiki has a lot of funny moments this season. Like, she was definitely a highlight of the season for me. And they talk about her pulling out a Whopper out of her Chanel bag, and just like, girl, random, why? She's like, look, I was hungry. I always ate on Burger King, so I told my driver to stop at Burger King before we go here. Boo, 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 simple. I was like, okay, cool. Then Andy hops over to Julia. He talks about Martina's diagnosis, and you know, are they still going to adopt in the midst of this news? And then she was just like, you know, we were very, very far into the process, but unfortunately we're going to have to put it off because our main focus is Martina's health and getting her back to 100% recovery from, you know, her cancer diagnosis. A lot of the girls feel, you know, like the show is therapeutic, and I can see that. You know, sometimes, like for me, you know, everybody has that perspective of themselves. Like, you know, if I was in a situation where I was right, I was wrong. Not everybody has that self-awareness that, you know, you can say I was wrong on this and I was wrong on that. Like, you know, I'm very hard-headed in certain situations. I have to hear from other people like, okay, maybe I was wrong, but to actually see it on TV is a whole nother perspective that we don't actually have. So I feel like, you know, being on TV and seeing yourself and how you act with people and how you react, your facial expressions, those are things that you don't know and don't see because you can't see yourself. So I think that is, you know, kind of true that, you know, being on TV could be therapeutic. We get back and Andy asks Gertie if her and Russell do it 3 times a week, like she said. And I feel like it's weird that this idea that, you know, married people don't have sex, or just like, you know, I have sex like, you know, once a month, you know. And I'm just like, I feel like, to be honest, some of the freakiest people probably are married. Like, they don't have that, you know, for religious people, they don't have that, oh, you know, having sex out of wedlock, or, you know, some people that just very want to get to know someone before they have sex. So I feel like married people, they probably just bust it out. Andy asked, like, who has, you know, who you think had the most sex within the group, besides Gertie? Everybody start raising their hand. Alexia's like, you know, I have the best sex. I'm like, girl, bye. Nicole raised her hand. Who else raised their hand? Lisa whispers over to Larsa. She's just like, I've been having great sex now, but can we talk about now? Because, you know, right now I'm getting a lot of sex, but back then. Larsa yells out, yeah, I've been married for 22 years and I've been having sex 4 times a night. So even me, like, I was over here writing notes while watching this. Even me, I thought she misspoke. I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe she misspoke. So they're like, what? 4 times a night? So, and then Gertie's trying to correct her, like, so you talk about like 4 times a week, like, you know? She's like, no, 4 times a night, every week. She did every day for 22 years. And I'm just like, girl. Oh, girl, she is stretched out, baby, because I could only imagine. Ooh, 4 times a night. So they start. Andy asked Larsa, you know, have you told Scotty about Marcus? And I actually agree with Larsa. Like, she don't owe that man anything. The only thing they have to talk about, especially being that their kids are grown, are the kids. Like, we don't have nothing to talk about. Like, his relationships are his relationships. Her relationships are hers. She don't have to talk to him about who she dating. That's irrelevant. Larsa shares that, you know, she's hung out with his family. He's hung out with her kids. And then Andy was like, well, have you met Michael Jordan? she's like, and you know, she started like, no, you know, I don't want to really talk about that because we're not trying to get into that. That's not a topic of conversation. I'm just like, okay. She tried to duck and dodge that, right? Andy is basically shocked because of the history between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Like, they were rivals, heated rivals, damn near probably didn't even like each other allegedly. And you know, you got Scottie Pippen's ex-wife and Michael Jordan's son. In what world? Like, but I mean, if they like it, I love it. So we get on to basically Larsa's segment and how, like, basically Larsa was activated this season. Like, she was, and I wasn't mad at it because sometimes it did gag me. It was funny, but Andy asked all the girls, like, does Larsa hit below the belt? Like, is that true? Everybody on the right side of the couch raised their hand, like, yup, she does. Kiki basically defended her, like, you know, at the end of the day, she retaliates. If someone comes for her, she go for them. Marisol is like, she's very reactive. And then Andy's like, okay, she's very reactive, but then she talked about your mother on season 1. And Marisol was like, we have gotten past that. She is a doll. I love her. And, you know, things were said and apologies were given. Just like, uh-huh. So Andy asked Julia about the kissing the man and why she lied. And Julia did lie at first. And I clocked that in my videos. I was just like, I mean, Julia, you lied and it made you look more suspicious. But when Julia explained it, it made so much sense. She was like, okay, Larsa asked me, like, did some man kiss me or a week ago? And she was like, it wasn't a week ago. She said, to be honest, the situation happened 4 months ago. So to be honest, it was a lie. Like, it didn't happen a week ago. It was 4 months ago. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, if somebody, like, yes, the event was true, but the time stamp wasn't. Andy asked Larsa, does she feel vindicated that Lenny admitted that he has a mortgage? And she was like, it wasn't that I was trying to be vindicated. It was just I was trying to prove a point that she doesn't have a mortgage. I was looking out for her because she didn't know. Lisa said that, you know, I wasn't mad about it. Ma'am, yes, you were. You was hot. You was pissed. You was doing the whole, you were not ever, never, don't talk about my family. She was doing all of that, right? And, you know, they dragged it out for 6 episodes. So, I mean, at this point, like, you was mad. Like, you don't sit here and say you wasn't mad. You was mad. And you need to talk to your girl. Like, girl, next time you want to say something cool, that's fine. But if we supposed to be close, like, we supposed to be, like, here, don't throw me out there like that. That's what she should have said, but she didn't. Basically, one of the viewer questions was, like, okay, yes, Julia and Lisa's low blows was true, but why does Larsa weaponize these against her friends? Larsa confused because she was like, how am I weaponizing? Like, how am I weaponizing? Adriana yells out, because you ruined her marriage. You could have ruined her marriage. Larsa's like, girl, shut up. And Julia said that I didn't get a call, but, you know, I would have liked one. And, you know, at the end of the day, you want to sit up here and say that you call people beforehand, this and the third, but you don't. And I don't see Larsa like, girl, hey, I'm trying to call you because da, da, da. I don't see Larsa calling nobody. So I definitely feel like that was just like fabricated just to save face. And Andy asked Larsa, you know, you got dirt on everybody. So like, what's going on? And Larsa's just like, you know, it just falls on my lap. To be honest, I feel like producers are giving her the tea and letting her like know what's up. Producers are digging and they're like, Larsa, throw this out there. Andy asked her about, you know, sleeping with the doctor comment, and Marisol talks about, you know, the DMs and how people tagged her and Nicole and everything, and Nicole didn't sleep with all the doctors, but she slept with most. And I'm just like, y'all still trying to run with this narrative that this girl is over here sleeping with doctors. And Nicole said it best in that episode that she confronted Alexia at lunch. Just because she is smart, pretty, young, and successful and a doctor, y'all want to find anything, any rumor to try to discredit her as the person that she is. 1, 2, y'all over here are mad because that Nicole didn't want this girl in her house because she didn't know her fully, and y'all thought that was a weird thing. That's not a weird thing. If I don't know you like that, I would be very apprehensive into inviting you to a party I have at my home. Just like Larsa said, her home was sacred. That's what she said in episode 1 and 2. Her home is sacred. She's so proud to have her home. Okay, well, you don't want to bring any random person up into your home. You got offended when they were talking about prostitute OnlyFans people up in your building. So how you want to then say Nicole can't have that same statement with her house. Like, she holds her house to a high regard, and that's her sacred place. So you want to basically vet who you bring into your house. Period. This ain't like Lisa's house where they over here have Halloween parties and stuff. Everybody come in and out. Still a husband. Let's keep it up. But anyway, I digress. So the girls start yelling back and forth. And like Nicole is just like laying it in on Larsa, and Larsa just like saying slick comments, because like Nicole's saying valid things. She's like, you over here throw out these weapons to try to validate yourself, but it's not accurate. And then she's just like, girl, whatever, you're just mad because I have a legitimate business and you don't.
I have real jobs, okay? Not like you, putting people to sleep.
I'm like, Larsa, I know you didn't just say that.
Girl. This girl is delusional.
And then she's talking about, oh girl, whatever, you think what you do is, and she's like, you think what you're doing is important. It's not. You're just putting people to sleep. Girl, you don't realize, Larsa, you really don't realize that you sat your ass up on that doctor's table, got your ass cut the fuck open, sweet, right? And you want to sit up here and act like what she did wasn't important. She went to school for a reason, because she could kill you on that motherfucking doctor's table. If she gave you too much anesthesia, if she gave you too much anesthesia, bitch, say hello to the motherfucking angels, bitch, because you're gone. Okay.
That's the kind of shit that has niggas on the front of a fucking obituary swimming in front of the clouds.
Okay, so at some point you can't sit up here and then just say that what she does is not important. It is. If she is a doctor for a reason, 1, 2, she went to school for a reason, and that's just it. At this point, it made me feel like the girls are just jealous of Nicole, because Nicole is literally going to lead this franchise. Nicole is Nicole's going to be the face of Miami, because she has a lifestyle, she has the personality, she has the star power, and she know how to go after people and go stand up for herself without backing down. And I love it. Larsa is going to be there too. And I feel like Larsa, even though Larsa tears my nerves up, she tore my nerves up this episode, I still like Larsa as a member on this show. I feel like Larsa was one of the best decisions Miami could have done, was bringing Larsa back. Having Kiki as a friend, as a full-time next season, it will be another amazing addition and decision. But who am I? Larsa basically tells Nicole, like, at the end of the day, you judge me, and Nicole was like, we didn't judge you. She was like, your husband called me a homewrecker, which he did, and I didn't like the way that Anthony inserted himself in the situation. It wasn't too much. Like, when Anthony and Nicole went at it between Todd and Alexia, I didn't mind that. It was whatever. But I just felt like when they had that segment up there, it seemed very random, and it seemed like, damn, he came after Larsa for, like, okay, I get it. She kind of is, allegedly. But come on now. But Andy also talks about, okay, you know, you were messing around with some young guy. And then they see the clip where it's like, what was his name? Marcus Beasley, 24 years old. His wife was surprised by seeing him all up on Larsa. So, I mean, I'm not saying that she ruined, but the perception of it, that's the perception. So it is what it is. Larsa was like, I was not with a married man. That's just what it is. Y'all got it wrong. I was not with a married man. Okay, it is what it is. Julia speaks out. After everybody's been yelling, screaming, hooping, and hollering. Julia speaks out. She says, Nicole, she said, Marisol, you said who is the person you trust the least. I'm going to say, who do I trust the most? The person I trust the most is Nicole. Because at the end of the day, Nicole, I seen her in her scrubs. I seen her at the hospital. She was like, I had to trust her because she was Martina's anesthesiologist. We had to give basically our trust to her that she would basically wake her up, you know? So that's a big thing, and a lot of people don't realize. And like she says, like, you're over here questioning her professionalism. And Larsa's like, I didn't do that. And it was like, but ma'am, you did question her professionalism with the little side comments that you made. Was very disrespectful. And I feel like that's something that these women need to stop doing, is calling their professionalism to task. Like, I didn't even mind when Larsa was doing OnlyFans. I'm like, girl, get your money. I'm not mad at that. But at the end of the day, you don't want people to be mad at what the shit, with what you do, but you can call the task what they do. That don't make sense to me. Nicole was basically like, saying that I slept with every doctor in the hospital is questioning my professionalism. And Larsa's trying to basically backpedal and pussy pop. It ain't working. And now Nicole is like, you know, I can't get, oh yeah, I already said that. So basically, Nicole was like, the reason why Anthony came after you was because he was defending his child. You called his child basically, what was it? Having a child out of wedlock. And Larsa was just like, that's not a bad comment. Andy was like, it was an asshole thing to say, having a child out of wedlock. I don't think Larsa realized that Andy has 2 kids from, I believe, surrogates. And so that means he has children by himself. The girls get back from break because they had like a little break, and you know, Larsa was over here with Marcus, and then Larsa's friend was there too. I'm just like, what's she doing here? But whatever. Andy asked, like, did anybody see this coming with you know, Lisa's marriage? Gertie brings up the event that they had, and Lenny refused to go to the private section that they were in. And you know, we see the footage, and Lisa's basically begging him, not like oh my God, please, but she's like, come on, like come in. He did not want to come into basically the section, see her speech, anything, and it's a red flag that I feel like she just glazed over. And it's crazy too because they even kissed when she saw him. And Gertie found that, you know, suspect, and as Lisa's basically like, you know, she's talking, explaining how, you know, we were definitely treading apart, but I didn't think it was anything that deep. You see Kiki start making faces. I'm like, ooh. Andy asks about, you know, their sex life, and she's basically like, yeah, you know, we try to have sex at least like once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm just like, oh, girl. No, ma'am. And she said they were doing this for 15 years. But the last 2 months before that event on the show, they stopped having sex. I'm just like, girl, that would have been a clear sign for me. Oh, it could have been me, girl. And they asked, like, so y'all still having Halloween parties? Because we saw it on Instagram. So, Kiki basically brings up, she's just like, yeah, you know, I live in Miami and I've been a model in Miami for so long. I know all these girls and I don't want to, like, you know, burst a bubble or do anything disrespectful, Lisa, but I know girls that Lenny has cheated with. And I just want to let you know, like, I know girls that he has been with, and yeah, like for years. So Kiki, I have questions. So let's say I knew I had a friend that husband was cheating on her. If it was my close friend, I'm telling my friend, period. If it's a friend that I'm just meeting, we've been knowing each other for a month, I would be very apprehensive because I don't know their marriage like that, nor do I know this person like that to basically call that out like, hey girl, your man's cheating on you. If I don't know for a fact, I'll know. But with Kiki, you said that they've been cheating on each other for years, right? And when you knew all this stuff, well, not they, but Lenny, if you knew all this stuff, I feel like there was plenty of opportunities for you to bring this up before this moment. Like when y'all were at the club, you could have brought it up like, girl, you know, he was over here doing this, that, and third. When she told y'all at the beach, you could have brought it up then, like, girl, I heard things. I just didn't know when was the right time to say anything, or this, that, and the third. It just seemed very calculated, and I don't know, it just made me feel weird. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, she said that she didn't know Lisa at the time. She been to their house, she been to their parties, she been with her other friends, so she didn't know her like that. So she didn't owe her anything. But being in this friend circle now, it just seems very, I don't know, it was a jab. I didn't like it. But let me know what you guys think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm about to head to work. So I'm going to try to get this out tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.